Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me. My name is Shavi Zane, and I'm coming on to do a message for the chosen seeds, the 144,000. Lately, I've been feeling very led and guided to do messages for the chosen seeds. And I feel that at this time, we're in this position where we don't have a lot of people surrounding us, where we are able to express ourselves, or not enough people around us actually understand the way that we view life, the way that we view spirituality, the way that we're able to see past the illusion. Now I feel like many of us are waking up out of sleep to where now we can say that we are finally seeing through the illusion. And so that can be a very lonely space, especially when most of the world is operating under a specific structure, a specific system, and most people are afraid to step outside of the constructs that they have been grown to become accustomed to. And so that's why I feel led and guided to do these messages. I hope that bringing some light and some strength to those of you who are joining me when I do post these messages. And also, if you desire a personal session from me, you can always check the description box below and email me. Um, I'd be happy to sit with you and do a session via video chat or over the phone. So, this message today, I feel like, there many of us are in this position where we are now coming out of a very challenging time in terms of finally being able to say that we have been victorious in overcoming whatever pain, whatever struggles was set before us, whatever we've been going through over our lifespan. And I feel that you are in this position where you can now say that you know the truth. You see the truth of everything that's around you. You have that sort of truth, and you're using it, that double-edged sword, to cut out people, places, and things that no longer serve you. I feel like there's a beginning, a new beginning in terms of your understanding and the way that you communicate, the way that you deal with people. Um, a lot of the chosen seeds right now are in a mental conflict. I feel like there's something about you being mentally conflicted about something. And this could be because the chosen seeds, we've been through a lot. We had to go through a lot in order to grow, in order to go through this transformation. And so there might be a mental confliction in terms of your forward movement. Maybe there's some issues of stagnancy right now because there's a hesitancy as to whether or not, if you take this leap of faith, are you going to end up having to confront more obstacles and challenges. But I feel that this is something that you may be kind of creating in your own mind right now, largely because you're still kind of guarded and you're still needing to heal from the past traumas that you have overcome. You've overcome them, but now you're in that stage of needing to heal. It's almost like if a warrior goes out to battle, he may come back and have that sword and be able to hold that sword up and say, well, I was victorious, I won. But that does not escape the fact that he has wounds on him that he might still need to nurture and to heal, and to also give himself a mental break from the battles that he's been through. And so the chosen seed, we've been through battles all of our lives. We've always had people that was against us, that did not want to see us step into our divinity, because naturally, once we step into our divinity, we are the ones that's actually going to restore balance to humanity. And so when you think about the so-called powers that are, their current structure is coming down, and also in a spiritual realm, they've been working in direct hand in hand with lower level entities to try to keep the chosen seed, us light seeds, the children of the Most High God, away from our purpose in order to stay in a position of power. And so you have to understand that there has been a lot of opposition in the spiritual realm and physically to keep us from knowing who we are and from moving towards our purpose, because ultimately, once we actually move towards our purpose, then success and abundance begins to come to us. Especially once we recognize the importance of releasing ourselves from all of the chains and the mental constructs, any religious constructs, everything that was shown to us is I think we're all beginning to see that it was all an illusion. Okay. And so creating a new foundation internally has been very important for us. And so I feel that there's an issue of feeling as if you're going to walk into more challenges, feeling as if you have to be on guard and stay armored up to prepare for more challenges. But you have to recognize that our position in the spiritual war was to heal. Our holy angels, the Most High, our ancestors of love and light, have all been working in unison. The whole entire spiritual team has worked in unison on the spiritual realm to fight off any any of the spiritual war that was going on, the spiritual warfare. Our position was to heal, and a large part of healing was to be able to see through the illusion, see past the illusion, see higher from a spiritual level, awaken in our consciousness, and to be able to, in the physical, to be able to use that and to become courageous enough to let go of people, places, and things that was holding us back from moving towards this truth that we have now been able to gain. And so I feel that because you've been through so much, there's this energy of maybe even kind of exaggerating outcomes. Well, what if this happens? Or, worst case scenarios for certain types of things. You might be in this position where you're considering relocating or moving away from a relationship that was very toxic, or family members or friends, or a job, a career that it's not serving you in your forward movement or in your purpose. There might be, you might be in your mind a lot creating scenarios that are not the reality. You can make it the reality if you focus in on it too much. That's why it's very important for the collective, the chosen, to recognize that focusing in on something actually creates that outcome, especially because we have been given the authority to be co-creators of our lives, because we have operated from a space of integrity, and because we was purpose. It was placed within our DNA to be the co-creators, because we are here to create a new foundation, a new structure. And so you want to consider, we're in this place now where we have to create that structure for ourselves before we can actually create it for humanity. Okay, and so that means creating it within first, and then taking the bold moves necessary to create it in your external environment. So if that means that you have to walk away from a career path that was keeping you weighed down, making you feel very stressed out and depressed, but you was only doing it because you was fearful that if you let it go financially, you would be left with nothing, or that you would end up struggling, then that's a poverty, that's a lack mentality. And so that's something that you have to free yourself from, because you have to remember that you was not placed here to be in lack. You was placed here to have wealth and to have abundance in all ways, not just materially, but in all ways. And so there's this energy of, right now we're in solitude, okay? The chosen seed, we're in our space of solitude. We don't have a lot of people around us. We're not interacting a whole lot. I feel like after going through such a tumultuous time and having to use that sword of truth to cut people out of our lives, we're finally in this space where we're in this position to just have our alone time and do a lot of thinking, a lot of studying, a lot of gathering a lot of information, whether it's coming from you internally, or whether you feel drawn to read certain texts or to listen to certain types of lectures, or whatever the case may be. But there's learning that's happening for us at this time. And so I'm feeling like, that learning and all of that knowledge that's coming in is actually moving us to this fiery climax. It's getting ready to place a lot of fire within us that's going to create this passion for us to make change, even when it comes to those things that we might have feared. Those moves that we might have feared making is actually creating courage within us while we're in this space of solitude and just learning and being transparent to gain the information and the spiritual uploads that's coming in. And so I feel that the end of a tough cycle is coming. The end of a tough cycle is approaching for us, because we've done the work. Okay, we've done the work. I feel like it's been difficult. It's hard when you have to cut out a lot of people that you have grown up with. It's hard when you have to walk away from people that you poured so much of yourself into. You might have invested into these people financially, or even career wise. You might have spent a number of years dedicated and putting in, all of your effort into a specific career. But a large part of you, especially now that you have come into the space of awakening, there's a tug of war that's happening in your mind that says, well, the spiritual wisdom that I am gaining does not coincide. It does not work hand in hand with the career that I'm currently in. Now, I've told you all before in some of my older videos, but I'll repeat it again. I personally have a registered nurse's license, but I do not use it at this time, because I see that my purpose is guiding me towards a whole different direction. And not only that, my spiritual belief system does not align with giving people chemicals to keep them sick. Okay, I can attest to the fact that working as a registered nurse in long-term care facilities and even mental health facilities, I witnessed a lot of people having to get on more medication to cure symptoms from other medications. And that's what I found myself becoming, was someone who was constantly on the phone calling a doctor, receiving new scripts for patients to overcome symptoms from one medication, but they're staying on that medication. They might decrease the dosage of that one just to add on something else to cure the symptoms of the last one. And it was just a domino effect of just this hamster wheel of building up all of these chemicals into the bloodstream that was not natural to the human body. And so I watched a lot of people go downhill. And then on the back end of that, I was able to see that a lot of it is for financial gain. You know, if you can get a patient to stay in a hospital, or if you can diagnose them with a chronic illness, or diagnose or give them, or if the doctor would diagnose them with a an illness that would require certain types of medications, they get certain financial kickbacks. The facility, the nursing home facility, gets more money if they're able to give these patients certain prescriptions for specific medications, or if they was sent out to the hospital and came back on a ventilator, now they get more of a bonus. You see what I'm saying? And so it's like all of it is just one big ball of, how much money can we make off of these people's illnesses? It's not about curing anyone. It's about hopefully stabilizing them long enough to continue to make money off of their illness. And so that does not work. It doesn't work with my spiritual belief system. So I say that to say that's my personal experience. And I have been guided and led to move towards my purpose, which is where I sit right here, helping people to see beyond the illusion, helping people, giving people light along their path, along their spiritual journey, and helping people to become more empowered to know that we are here to be in our origin. We are here to be in our authenticity. We are not here to be workhorses, or to feel like, we're a slave or of servitude to someone else, making other people rich and comfortable, while we have to get up daily and feel stressed or feel depressed about what we do because it doesn't go along with what our soul is crying out for us to do. And so I say that to say, if you're in that position where you're having to move away from whatever it is, people, places, or things, do not be afraid. When you are doing things from a space of integrity, and when you are doing it from a space of love with good intentions, you are rewarded for that. But when you hold on to things that do not serve your highest good, and you know that you are adding to something that's not serving the highest good of humanity, and also, when you know that you're doing something that's not serving the highest good of humanity, you end up, it's like on the back end, you end up receiving certain karma, okay? And that karma doesn't have to look like you going through the worst of the worst, but it can play on you mentally, where emotionally you are drained. Physically, you have no energy. Mentally, you're sad. You're unhappy with what you do. When you get up to go clock in, you can't wait till the day is over with, and you haven't even gotten inside yet. You just now clocking in, and you can't wait for the day to be done. So that's the type of, you know, energy that comes back to you when you are putting in your energy to do something that does not serve you. And so I feel like right now, in this space of solitude, the chosen are, we're in this position where we have to learn. We have to learn about ourselves, and we have to learn about our position. What are we being guided to do? What is your vessel specifically created to do? What is your gift? Okay, so you need to know that you are good enough, because that old cycle, that tough cycle that we've been going through, is coming to an end. That all of that stuff is wrapping up. And so you want to make sure that you wrap up any fears, any apprehension, any fear of obstacles and challenges coming your way. You want to make sure that you put all of that in a nice little bowl with everything that you just been through, that whole battle, that whole war, and you want to set that to the side now, because now it's time for you to release the burden. It's time for you to release that weight of what you've been going through, so that you can establish establish a new foundation for yourself. This is a new beginning and a new path that you're being guided down, because you've already done that. You've already learned the lessons. You've already been through the war and the battlefield. So now you have to heal yourself. You got to nurture yourself. You got to learn yourself, learn your gifts. Okay, start going within. The more that you go within, the more that you're able to see, well, what is my gift? What has the Most High structured me specifically to do? What did he place within my DNA to do? And you have to become that rebel, because that's really the only way that you can break the chains, is by becoming the rebel when in within your circumstances. And so you got to make the first move. A lot of times it literally looks like you just stepping out there, and you're going to have people, you're going to have naysayers. That's why it's good to just keep things to yourself and just move off of faith, because you will have naysayers. Of course, I had people that was looking at me halfway crazy. Oh, well, you got this whole nurse's license when you could be doing XYZ and making this and that. But this is not about them. This is not about their opinions. This is about what my soul, what I know intuitively, what the Most High has shown me I am supposed to be doing. And so I stepped out on faith. And a large part of it also was the Most High created circumstances in order for me to have to sit down in order to tap into my gifts and to learn who I am and what my purpose is. And so if you've been put in a position where you have to sit down, because a lot of people had to sit down because of COVID, their jobs ended up, shutting down, or people just ended up working from home, or whatever the case may be. It put you in a space of solitude where you had to, take a look at yourself and really decide what it is that you're here to do and how you want to move forward from here. And so there's this need to just kind of get out of your head space, because I feel like right now the chosen might have too much on their minds. It's like too many toxic thoughts, too many what ifs, too many worst case scenario type of situations. And it's now time for you to detox your mind, release all of those thoughts, write things down, write down those things. I release this, I release that, and burn it. And then you want to replace that void with affirmations, because this is all about deconditioning yourself. It's like rewiring your mind. Okay. Mind rewire, because you were so conditioned to stay in survival mode for so long, and so conditioned to one negative scenario after the next, after the next, after the next. That was the attack of the enemy to try to keep you from moving towards your divinity and waking up to who you are. But now, because in the spiritual warfare has already been won. I don't know if you can tell or not, but the spiritual warfare has already been won. Now, any obstacles that you might have at this point is literally coming from within you, because you still need to clear out the extra debris from the battle. Okay, so that's just like I was just using the scenario of the warrior that went out to war. He won the war, but you better believe he got to go home and do some cleaning up, because he's bloody. He got all types of debris and dirt all over him, as he just looks a hot mess. And also internally, he has to also release those thoughts of the battle that he just went through. He can't sit there going, over and over in his mind about how many people he had to slay and how many wounds he gained from being in that war. No, he has to now go back and he has to free his mind of those thoughts, and he has to replace that with positive, peaceful, loving thoughts and positive outcomes and scenarios. And so that's the position that we are in. You need to clear out, clean yourself off, dust yourself off, and know that whatever moves you make, you're being guided to take those steps. So let's just say you're being guided and led to pick up and relocate. There's something in you that's just saying, it's time for me to move. It's time for me to move. But you're not doing it because you're like, okay, what if? What if XYZ? Worst case scenarios though. Then you are creating a stagnation for yourself at this point, because you've already been given the nudges. Those intuitive nudges they're real. That's the Most High, that's your holy angels telling you this is the direction that we're guiding you into, but we need you to release any negative thoughts that you're having about the situation so that we can give you further instructions on what to do next. Because a lot of times that's what it is. You get so caught up in your head that it's like, okay, well, all right, I'm getting this thought of moving, but what do I do next? Where do I go? How am I supposed to do this? Well, they can't give you the next message until you rid yourself of all of those negative thoughts first. Okay? So the next step can come in once you get out of your own way and allow yourself to receive those messages and instructions. Because one thing that the chosen seed should be doing right now is definitely working alongside your spiritual team. Your spiritual team, my spiritual team consists of course, the Most High, but He has given me a specific spiritual team that walks with me and that's around me to protect me. Because you best believe in our position, there is still opposing forces that would like to come back in. Even though they've lost this battle, they still want to try to come back in and see what they can do to sabotage you moving forward. And so we got our guidance. We have our angels that's constantly surrounding us and protecting us, okay? And so you want to make sure that you speak out to them and that you um let them know what you need. You see what I'm saying? And so one thing that the holy angels are not going to do is impede on your free will. So you have the free will to just try to do this thing on your own, okay, and to continue to feel stuck or to continue to feel like everything is a challenge, or you can reach out to your spiritual team. It doesn't matter how minute you think it is. If it's something that's keeping you stagnant or feeling stuck, then you need to ask for help. And as we know, this is why we have such a strong, powerful spiritual team, because we had to release so many people in the physical realm, friends, family, romantic partners, because we was finding out that many of these people could not be trusted and that they had very wicked intentions towards us because of who we are. So of course we have to have a very large spiritual team, okay, because we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and because now we are functioning from a position where we are more connected on a spiritual level. We are more connected to our purpose, and we are disconnecting when it comes to the material world. We are disconnecting from the illusion of the material world. Then we are functioning in an energy where we are more connected when it comes to communicating with our angels and our ancestors of love and light. We are more connected in that way. You see what I'm saying? And so that's why it's so important for you to open up the lines of communication when it comes to your spiritual team, to let them know where you feel like you are having these obstacles and these challenges, and let them know that you are surrendering so that you can receive whatever help it is that the Most High has imparted within them to bring to you, so that you can continue down your path, okay? Because that's what this is all about, continuing to have forward movement towards your purpose, not being stagnant and stuck in things that you could have easily gotten out of had you been open enough to actually ask for the help, okay? And so, like I said, while you might not have a lot of people in your physical environment that you can reach out to, you do have your spiritual team, which is actually, if you ask me, is more powerful than any backstabbing friend, or jealous family member, or disloyal lover. You see what I'm saying? So you have a spiritual team that's not going to let you down. And so reach out and ask for help. There's a need for just, for the chosen seed to trust the process, surrender. Don't hold on to anything from the past. Don't hold on. Don't cling too tightly to anything. Surrender. Okay. You are in this position where you're healing. You are healing from the past. And there's this energy of needing to live moment to moment. Continuing, stay in the now. That's very important. Stay in the now. Do not allow yourself to wander too much into the past. It's okay to have those moments of nostalgia where when you think about the past, as long as it's loving memories, as long as it's positive memories that make you feel good, then yes, it's okay to be in that spirit, in that place of nostalgia. But if it's that energy that makes you feel like you have to be on guard, because when you think about the past, now you have to, okay, well, this happened to me in the past, so now I have to stay guarded up and armored up and ready for the next battle based on what I've experienced from my past. If it puts you in that type of energy, then it's not the type of memories that you need to be focusing in on. And so you want to make sure that you're in that place, because anytime you have to have armor around you from head to toe, you just always guarded and ready, to defend and protect. You're not in that energy of being transparent. You see what I'm saying? You're not in that energy of being open to receive the messages that's coming in spiritually, because you have that artificial blockage, that protective barrier that's there, that's keeping you from being able to be in that space of transparency. And that's also a lot of weight. It's a lot of heaviness when you feel like you have to always wear this protective armor. It's time for the chosen seed to recognize that our spiritual team is they strong, okay? The Most High has set around us angels, the holy angels, your ancestors of love and light. This is a powerful spiritual team that's surrounding you at all times, 24 hours, 7 days a week. And so whatever obstacles or challenges that anybody tries to throw at you, they are there to handle that for you, especially at this time, because we need to be in this space of growing and healing as a collective so that we can beat as one heart, beat with one rhythm, so that we can actually bring vitality back to the body. Okay, we are the heart, the chosen seed, the 144,000 is the heart of the body. And when once we start beating in unison and we have a healthy, strong sound, then the whole body begins to receive its supply. The whole body becomes alive again. You see what I'm saying? And so we have a very strong position, but our position is mainly just to operate from a space of love and to be courageous in our forward movement, moving in our purpose, okay? Because we have some very powerful and strong testimonies. We are very different. We are very unique, okay? And so what we have to offer to the world is a very powerful light to bring light into dark places. And so the only way that you can do that is by surrendering and trusting the process, having faith and knowing, not believing, not hoping, but knowing that everything is happening for the greatest good, okay? And that you're being guided in this direction for a reason. So be of courage. Do not stay in a space of mental conflict. Now, I do have a few cards that I pulled out that I want to discuss. This says, you may be cutting out those that are not operating from a space of integrity to protect your heart. Someone knows the truth and has much life experience of pain and lessons. So yes, you are using that sort of truth. Now that you've overcome those battles from your past, you are using that sort of truth to cut out people, places, and things that no longer served you, okay? People that do not operate from a space of integrity, you are cutting them out in order to protect yourself. All right. And that's what that's good. You've been in that position of letting these people go, releasing these people. But the only thing is, it's left you guarded. It's left you ready for battle for the next one to come forward. And it's not necessary at this point because I feel like those people that you needed to release, you've done that. And if you're still in the process of releasing those people, I feel that you can do it without being in this energy of feeling like you need to fight. I've released many people from my life. Many people from my life, okay? And I didn't have to do it with a push and pull. It wasn't no all out battles. It wasn't no all out war. No, I just knew how to easily press the delete button or whatever button you got to press, the block button. Okay. I just did that. That was easy for me to do. We don't have to go back and forth. I don't have to tell you the whys because most of those people that you cut out of your life, they already know why they're being removed from your life because they know that they was operating from a space where they lacked integrity. And so you just do what's necessary. You create that space for yourself and then you pour into yourself. You heal yourself. You strengthen yourself. You empower yourself without all of that extra negative energy there to hold you down because that holding on to people is also baggage. Holding on to people that do not serve you, that's operating in a low vibrational energy, that's in that jealous energy or that's highly materialistic or egotistical or in their carnal nature, that's extra baggage on you spiritually, mentally, even physically. If you're having like sexual exchanges with these people or if you're having, spending too much time in their space, that holds you down. It's a very heavy weight. And so someone knows the truth and has much life experience of pain and lessons. And so yes, the chosen seeds, we have a lot of experience when it comes to pain and having to learn vital lessons. And that's where we're at. We've learned the lessons about letting go of people, not being in that energy of always wanting to try to fix people because the chosen seed, because we are naturally healers, one of the things that's one of the reasons why we have always attracted narcissists, people that come in to want to just feed off of your energy and gaslight you or try to make you think that you're the problem when in fact they're just projecting their negative intentions and their bitterness off on you because they know that as the chosen seed, we've always been those healers. We've always wanted to try to see if we could fix people with our love or with our compassion because we know that, okay, we would want that person to be just as caring and loving towards us. So we would, that's the energy that the chosen have always projected. And this is why we've always drawn in those types of people. And not only that, but they're drawn to our light. They're drawn to our natural ability to shine because we are blessed. We are highly protected and we've always been, even when we was operating at our lowest vibrational state, we have always been protected. And so you end up attracting a lot of people that's operating in lower level energies that want to come around to try to drain your energy. But as we continue to learn and evolve, we're starting to realize, because that's another thing, a lot of people tend to say, well, they want to come and take your energy. Well, the good thing is that energy is infinite. Okay, it is infinitely abundant. And so it's just like if somebody was to come in and take a cup of water from you, well, you can always go and get you some more water. You see what I'm saying? But you have to know how to tap in. You have to know how to access that energy, that high vibrational energy. It's within you. It's within us. That's the beautiful thing about it. It's infinitely within us because we are connected to the source. And for me, I call it the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is always within me, okay, surrounding me in everything. The spirit that I have is directly connected to the Holy Spirit, which is the spirit of the Most High God. And so I don't know that everybody looks at it from the same way, but regardless of how you look at it, you have to know that it is infinitely available to you when you know how to access it, and when you know how to recognize when, okay, I'm feeling as if this situation or this thought or this emotion is making me feel low. It's making me feel weighed down. It's making me feel like I'm all over the place in my mind, and that my mind is cluttered and it's just full of toxic thoughts. What can I do to transmute and alchemize that energy? Okay, then that means that you need to speak to your holy, speak to the Most High, speak to your spiritual team, okay, and also do some releasing, do some things. You have to constantly and consciously be in the energy of healing yourself and deconditioning that old way of doing things, that old protective measure that you used to have. You have to release that, because now you're operating from a space of freedom. You're operating from a space of authenticity. You want to be light in your energy at all times. It's light as a feather. And you can't be light as a feather if you got on this big old heavy steel armor ready to go to battle based on your past, based on what you went through. You've already done the work of cutting people out. Then you have here, you have completed a powerful transformation. Okay, so you have completed a powerful transformation in your life. And this transformation, like I said, consisted of internally and externally having to release people from your life so that you can grow, so that you can, see who you have been created to be. You have here, justice is being served in this situation. Karmic justice is at hand. The scales will be balanced. Integrity always wins. Where there may have been a lack of integrity, justice is at play to balance the scales out. And so, yeah, integrity always wins. Okay, don't worry about those things that people have done to you in the past, because even if it's not taken care of in the actual court system here in the physical, there's a spiritual court system. There's a higher level of judicial system that's going to take care of those things that was not done from a space of integrity. It's going to take care of those people that was doing things against you from a space of where they lacked integrity. Whether you are aware of it or not aware of it, just know that the scales are going to be balanced, and that what you have put out there, you're going to receive back tenfold, and what they put out there, they're going to receive it back tenfold too. That's just how the law of correspondence work. Okay, what you give is what you receive back. So just know that it's taken care of. You don't have to worry about that, and that's why you don't have to be on guard and ready to fight, because the battle has already been won. This says it's time you stood up for yourself and established those boundaries. Okay, establish those boundaries, healthy boundaries for yourself. That means, okay, I love myself enough to know that you are no longer welcome into my space, because every time you come around, you bring negativity, you bring drama, you bring this low level energy. You never have anything positive to say. Those are the people that you have to stand your ground and say, I'm establishing healthy boundaries. This is not about me. It's not about worrying about somebody else's feelings. It's about doing what's best for you, doing what's healthy for you at this time. And we have to do this collectively. We have to release collectively. It's happening individually, but as one heart, we are actually working in unison to come together to create one beat, one vibration for the universe, one sound. That's us, the chosen seeds. And so you have here, your gift is being born within you right now. Nurture it. So for those of you who feel as if you don't quite know what your gift is, many of the chosen seed have already awakened to what our gifts are. And many of us are already functioning in those gifts. So we have to continue to nurture them, continue to do whatever studying we need to do, whatever it is that you need to do in order to continue to nurture whatever your contribution is to the whole. And if you don't know what that gift is yet, it's being born inside of you. Okay, it's growing. And so that's why you have to continue to nurture yourself so that you can nurture the gift that's being formed within you as well. Okay, so having a bunch of toxic thoughts is actually slowing down the growth process of your gift. Okay, and so you want to be very cognizant of that. It's just like a pregnancy. If you have a bunch of toxic foods or toxic things that you're putting into your body while a baby is being formed, then the baby can, it's going to slow down the, the growth process, and the baby, it will have some issues. You see what I'm saying? And so you want to make sure that you are nurturing yourself as this gift is coming forward. You are now seeing through the illusions, fly higher and see more. So because we are now seeing through the matrix, because we are now seeing through the falsehood of this 3D world, it's time for you to continue to fly higher to see more. Okay, don't be afraid to see more. Whatever your vessel was, however your specific vessel was structured, whatever information you are supposed to know, you're going to gain that information as long as you're not resistant to it. And so be open, be transparent, fly higher, see more, learn more. Okay. This has, the Most High has created you to build the structure of a royal empire. So yes, we are the ones that are building the new structure. We are the ones that are building the new kingdom. Okay. And so you have been created to build this structure. And so if you are created to build the structure of a royal empire, that means you're creating something that's going to be stable and solid for generations to come. And so you can't go into this position. This is a very high position that we have been given. Okay, you can't go into this position fearful or being held back or weighed down by toxic thoughts and toxic people and toxic emotions, and being fearful of moving into your purpose, because then you're not equipped, you're not prepared to build a structure of a royal empire. So you have to first create the kingdom within you. The kingdom of God is within us first before we can actually create the royal empire externally, create the kingdom in the physical, because that's what we are being put, that's what we have been put here to do. So this says, someone may feel a sense of betrayal or has experienced a painful ending. While it's painful to be hurt by those you love, it's important to pick yourself back up and heal. It's the only way to move forward. Okay, so you might have been hurt, and of course you've been hurt. The chosen, we have been hurt. Okay, you might have recently experienced some betrayal by somebody, and you know that it's time to end. You know that thing, whatever it is, has come to a painful ending. But in spite of that, you still win, because you know the importance of moving forward and releasing and letting go when the time has called for you to do that, regardless of who it is, how much time you've invested. It does not matter. When the time comes for you to release, that's what you have to do in order to heal and to move towards your purpose. So while it's painful to be hurt by those people that you love, you have to pick yourself back up and focus on healing. You don't want to stay in that energy of focusing in on the pain for too long. That's why it's so important to live moment to moment and to stay in the now. Don't worry about too much of what's going to happen in the future unless you are actually visualizing a beautiful future for yourself. Don't worry about what took place in the past, because you can't get that back unless it's beautiful memories that actually make you feel good and light in your energy. Otherwise, if you can't, do either one of those from a balanced state and from a space of happiness, love, and light, then stay in the now and find those things that's happening with you right this second that will bring gratitude, things that you could be grateful for. You can start by the fact that you're here. You can start by the fact that you know that you are chosen. That's if I ever had anything to be grateful for, just knowing that the Most High would select me to be in this position to bring light back and to bring balance back into the world. What more could I possibly be thankful for? And even if I didn't have this position, just the fact that I'm able to get up and breathe, just the fact that I have beautiful children that's alive and healthy and well, just the fact that I'm strong, I'm healthy, I'm balanced. Do you see what I'm saying? I have everything that I could possibly need and much of what I want. It's like, it's so many things that we can find to be grateful for right now. So if you can't find anything good to think of, just stay in the now, stay in the moment, and learn how to recondition yourself to focus in on those things that keep you light in your energy. The last card I have here is that person in your life. That person is in your life to cause setbacks and to weaken your progression forward. So there is somebody that was in your life that was sent here specifically. Their position was to keep you in a space where you would not be able to heal. where you would constantly be in this energy of battling, fighting. They was here to cause setbacks and to put stumbling blocks in the way of your forward movement. And so I feel like that you've already exposed this person, or maybe life circumstances has exposed this person for who they are. And so you've had this painful ending where you've had to establish healthy boundaries for yourself now, meaning I'm no longer going to allow you in my space anymore, because my forward movement says that I can't take that type of energy where I'm going. So we have to, continue to work together. All of us, we're in this together. You're not alone in this thing. So even if you might physically feel that when you look around you don't have a lot of people, you are not alone, because we are one heart and we are all doing this together. We're all having to release a lot of things together. And so know that you are never alone, especially the fact that you have a spiritual team that's deep, that's around you, waiting for you to reach out to them, to let them know that you need them. Whatever the obstacle is, whatever it is that you feel is holding you back or that is challenging you, in terms of your forward movement and down your path, speak out. Make it clear what you need, and they will help you. So that's what I got for y'all. I love you. If you was able to resonate with this, I hope that you like and subscribe to my channel. I would love to see you all back here again. And I will talk to you all next time.